Good. So welcome everybody to your Yang and Yin practice. One of my favorite ways to teach. Once you're on your back, just go ahead and you can have your feet on the ground or your legs outstretched, however you like to start your practice. And then you're going to move your head from side to side. Good. Just kind of unwind the neck. So a lot of times when we do that hollow body work, you can get a little congested up in the neck or throat. If you missed yesterday's practice, please try to get it from the recording. Good. And then from your back, we'll go ahead and we're going to move through some bridge work, all right, to get started. Okay, so go ahead and walk your feet back for a moment, and we're just going to work to bridge. We'll settle and center, and then we'll work back into bridge. So arms will come down by the side. The gaze is straight up. Pull your shoulders underneath you, and then lengthen your tailbone so you pull the belly in, and then you'll pick your hips up. So walk your shoulders under a little bit deeper. We'll take about 5 breaths here. Good. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out from your nose. Good. One more. Good. And then you're going to tilt your pelvis. You're going to lengthen your tailbone and come all the way back down. Let your feet move a little wider, and then you're going to move your shins from side to side. Good. So as you're finding these rotations, you can let your palms face up to make a little bit more space down the ribs if you'd like to. Side to side. We'll do a few more of these. Good. And then you're going to bring your feet together and then let the knees spill out wide. And then as your knees fall out wide, you're going to kind of walk your hips back a little bit. So shuffle around a little bit. And then let your arms reach out over your head with bent elbows. You could have your hands separate, or you could bring one hand on top of the other. Good. And just let your gaze be up. And I want you to feel like you're kind of falling into the shape. So you might notice that there's a little bit of resistance or grasping or pushing or holding. And what that can do is make you arch up a little bit through the ribs or cling into the hips with the knees. And what I'd like for you to do is let yourself settle down as if something like a nice dense pillow or bolster was coming to rest on your body, right? And if you feel some compression in the low back, that's okay. But if it's too much, you pull the belly in and you lengthen the tailbone a little more, and then you come back down into the heavy, okay? So we're going to take several moments of breath here. This will be our first yin posture, and we'll use this posture to integrate into our practice. Welcome yourself into your body. So no matter what your morning has presented to you, no matter how you're feeling in your body today, whether you're feeling a little sore or you're feeling really ramped up or energetic, allow yourself to take all these components, and as you pull them in, as you're noticing them, you'll let them be a part of your practice. Good. You can have your eyes open or closed. Good. Really nice. Take your time here. I'll use my phone as the clock every now and then to kind of monitor our time and take good care of the time we're in each posture. Good. Feel free to unwind the jaw, unlock the jaw. Move your jaw around a bit. Good. So you've got just a couple more minutes here. You're on the clock. This is called bound angle or Baddha Konasana. It's a great way to feel connected to your spine from the floor, to natural curves. There's really no way to completely flatten out with the knees wide in this shape or with your arms out or overhead. The heavier you can get, the better. Although the posture can feel heavy and still, there's a lot going on within it. Noticing your breath and where it might touch the spine. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly. And if your mind feels rampant, you just allow yourself to take a step back and notice those thoughts. Okay? Don't stress yourself out by trying to silence the mind. Don't do that. Good, you're doing great. You're almost there. When I feel somewhat disconnected from my body, either it be because my mind is super busy, I've been thinking or stressing or just excited about something new I'm working on, this is a posture I'll come to pretty often. It helps me feel grounded yet open, right? It's about 5 more breaths here, nice and slow. Inhale through the nose and exhale it out. Two more. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and bring our knees back together. Let them come to touch for a moment. And just with your legs together, your feet on the ground, very close together, maybe they're even touching the ankles and toes, go ahead and push your low back into the ground. So in order to push your low back into the ground, you must bring the pubic bone down and the tailbone forward. Keep the belly in here. So you want to feel that from our core work yesterday, you should feel a little bit of something in there, a little bit of fluttering, right? If not a full ache, soreness. One more breath, feel it into the inner thighs. And then exhale, just release it. Good. All right, so we're going to separate our feet again, wide to the edges of the mat. We'll tick-tock, and then we're going to bind it. Okay. Good. We're going to undo any tightness in the front body and low back, and then we're going to move around just a bit to get our energy and our chi moving. Good. 2 more times on each side. 1 and 2. Good. And then when your knees drop over to the left, you're going to let them just fall. And as my knees drop to the left, I'm going to actually push my right foot a little farther to the edge of my mat. So I've got this wider space between my thighs. So my left thigh bone is pulling my left hip open, and my right thigh bone is rotating my hip in. You can stay right here, letting your right arm reach out to the side and the gaze turning to the right. And heavy down into that right shoulder. I want you to feel like if I was with you in person, I would gently press down into your right shoulder, right? If you'd like to, you can take your left foot and bind it. Pick that left foot up and place it on the outside of that right thigh and press it down and forward. And the bind will create a little more activity here. So nice and open. Nice. I'll spin around just a bit so you can see how my feet are. It's hard to see when I wear black pants on a black mat. But I just switched over here and I have my left foot on top of my right thigh. And my gaze is to the right. Good. Pull the belly in here. If you feel a little tug of some sensitivity or soreness from yesterday, that's good. Congratulate yourself for that work. We'll be here for just a little bit longer. I'm going to go ahead and put the clock on. So allow that right thigh, that femur bone, to spin in, right? As you let the left thigh come down into the floor, let it roll out. Here we're getting that internal rotation on the right and external rotation on the left. And it should feel good. It should feel good for the low back, but also up under the psoas and around the hip, or even IT band of the right leg. Good. You're almost there. A few more breaths. Good. Almost. Take your time. Good. One more breath here. Pick them up. All right, so go ahead and let your leg, you'll unattach, you'll detach your foot, let it drop to the floor, and then you're going to pull your knees back up, and then you're going to pull your knees up into your chest, but wide. So just wide here. My feet are separate, and my knees are really, really wide. I'm pulling my knees wide. I'm going to take a few breaths here. Good. Inhale through your nose, and exhale. You can play with pulling the knees in and dropping them down. Good. All right, let's pull our knees in together to touch. And the feet are still off the ground. Pull your knees up into your chest. And then you can stay here with the head down, or if you'd like, you can walk your hands farther down towards your feet. Maybe even you hold the outside edges of your feet or your toes. If you don't get them, it's okay. Just grab what you can grab, and then pull your chin into your chest, and maybe you lift your head. But you could just have your chin in. You could lift up. And so I'm really pushing my feet into my hands. My hands are resisting. Good. And take another breath here, a little side to side. And I'm going to lay my head back down, pull my knees back to my chest. My hands are around my knees. And then my feet are going to come down to the ground. Keep your feet together to touch. Keep your knees together to touch. Bring your hands to your thighs, but close to the hip flexor, so you're close to your torso. And I'm going to lengthen my tailbone and push my hands into my hips here a little bit, my thighs. I'm activating the core just a little bit to help lengthen out the back. Good. Take a breath underneath it. Hold the breath in, suck the belly in, and then exhale, release. Good. So we'll separate our feet again to the edges of the mat. We'll tick-tock 2 times on each side. Good. And then you'll let your knees spill all the way to the right. And so your left foot, right, my left foot, I'm going to inch one, I'll push it a little more to the left. For me, doesn't bother my knee at all, just gives me a little bit extra in this left hip, that iliac crest, the anterior hip point, right? The low back, the psoas. And then I'm going to really soften into the pose, and I'm going to turn my gaze, right? I'm going to turn my gaze so I'm heavier into the shoulder. We're going to take a deep breath here. Good. Turn your gaze to the left. And then imagine I'm just kind of heading down into that shoulder on the left. And if you want to bind, the right foot comes somewhere along the outside of that left knee or thigh, and you push down. That absolutely is going to lift your low back more. If it's too much, then for goodness sake, let that foot drop. Take a breath here. Good. Take your time. And then, there's a playing around with it. You can absolutely just fall into the posture and let the posture do its work as you settle through it and breathe. But you can also use kind of the inner workings of the body by kind of internally lifting up through that left oblique, right? Feeling a little tug of the left side and that hip, just kind of pulling it in and up. So just really feeling fall into it. Good. And take your time here. A little bit of opening in the low back for sure. Good. Let's take some more breaths here. The clock is spinning for you. Good. Nice. Remember, you're always welcome to use the recordings to pause and play back anything that you didn't quite get during the practice. It's okay. It's all good. During our practice today, what I'd like for you to use as your meta phrase or your mantra is, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a fresh new day. Every day that we wake up is a day that we wake up to a new opportunity for it to be a good day. And the more that you say to yourself, it's a good day, even if you don't even believe it in the beginning, say it. Say it to yourself. Let that be your morning meditation every morning. It's a good day. It's a good day. Good. You have about 5 more breaths here. Take your time within it. It's a good day. Last breath here. If you're bound with that left foot, you'll just go ahead and let it drop. And we'll let the, or you'll let the foot drop and you'll let the knees come up. And then we'll pull the knees up into our chest nice and wide again. Take them wide. And then you're going to come into full happy baby. So if you're able to, the arms go inside the legs here, right? My elbows are in my inner knees. And I'm going to pick my feet up. And so you just grab what you can grab. My feet are flexed. If you want, if you can, you're going to grab the pinky edge. You can even pull the pinky toe back. And then you can move side to side, leaning in to one side and then the other. Good. You only go as far as you can. I don't want you to roll off. If you roll off, just roll back to your back. Good. And we'll take about 5. Actually, we'll be here a little bit longer. This feels really nice, doesn't it? And so in this shape, unlike Baddha Konasana, unlike the postures we've been in previously, this allows your spine to really it's even more than neutral. It is a lengthening of the low back and the positioning of your hips. So what you're learning is like so many placements of your knees, the way your knees are positioned is absolutely going to affect and determine what's happening in your low back. And that is the truth in all the postures. So take your time here. If you want to stretch out one leg at a time, if you're called to that, you can do that through your happy baby and add a little extra hamstring if you need to. Come into the inner workings of the posture, maybe hugging the belly in or pressing down into your low back or thoracic spine, which is the upper back. Yeah. Noticing the placement of your head. Good. We'll be here just a little bit longer. Let's say 5 more breaths. Good. These Thursdays, yang and yin, are really almost like recovery days for the week. And so I'm really thankful that when you're here live with me, because I know you're taking it and you need it. Good. One more deep breath here. And then you'll bring your knees together to touch, the feet come together to touch, and then you extend your feet up towards the ceiling. Point and flex your feet here. You can pedal it out, get some pops and snaps in the ankles and toes maybe. You can pull the legs in together or one at a time, but let's stay into the midline and really pull these legs in, okay? Good, should feel good. And then you're gonna make some circle shapes with your legs, and you can use your hands. You could have bent knees for sure, or your legs might be straight. Your arms could be on the ground, but I want you to use this movement to press down into the sacrum so you feel the edges of the sacrum. It is a good day. It is a good day. But then you go the opposite direction. One more time around. Good. And then you're going to bring your feet down to the ground and separate your feet wide, and we'll move into bridge. And then we're going to start working into downward dog into warrior. Okay. All right. Settle your back. Lift your chest by pushing the scaps down into the back, and then press into your feet. Lengthen your tailbone. Lift your hips up. The chin is off the chest. You may have to pick it up a little bit. I'd rather your chin be too high than too low here. If your chest comes to your chin, that's fine. You can get up that high. But you don't want to smash your chin down, because what that does is it puts too much pressure on your cervical spine. I'm going to walk my feet back a little bit because I know I can go a little deeper here. You do you here. Don't tax the knees here, but lift up. I want you to go as deep as you can here. This should feel good. This is, you know, all the hollow body work of yesterday. This is the undoing. But still really finding some connection to your back body. Squeeze your butt. A lot of times issues we have in our low back, in rounding of shoulders, is weak posterior chain, which is this entire back body here. It's your hamstring strength, it's your glute strength, it's the erectors of the spine strength. Good. So anytime you're in bridge and you feel weak, stay longer. This is really what I want your work to be. It's going to serve you for the rest of your life. Good. 2 more breaths here. Don't feel bad about it. Feel good about it. It's a good day. Good. Now come high up on your tippy toes and lift those calves. Go higher. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt. And then slowly bring it all the way down. So I'm going to articulate my spine. I'm going to pull my belly in, lengthen my tailbone, bring it down. Oh, and the heels come down. Nice job. Pull the knees into your chest. Oh, it feels good into the glutes, doesn't it? And then we're going to roll forward and back. And if rolling forward and back doesn't work for your structure or your space, then you'll just roll off to the side. And we're going to make our way into downward facing dog, please. Good. So sometimes when we have a yin and yang practice on Thursdays, it will, whoops, I lost my AirPod. Sometimes it will look like a little more effortful flow. That's really nice actually to do some cheetahs within this. But since we did so many of those yesterday, we won't do them today. Downward facing dog, my friends. And once you're in downward dog, you're going to pedal it out and move around in it. Good. Hug the belly in, keep the front ribs in. Open up that back body. In your down dog, really make sure your arms are straight and your biceps are kind of pulling forward, right? So spin the biceps forward and you'll find more of your shoulder blades. Pedal it out. Push it back. Pedal it out. We're kind of marching here so the hips slant. Good. Keep going. Just a few more. Good. And then you'll come high on both feet. So the toes are pressing down, the heels are lifting. Now press your chest way back, pull the belly in deeper, lengthen the tailbone. Good. And then we're going to walk our feet forward. Once you come to the top of the mat, take a breath and halfway lift your chest up, and then exhale, fold down. So from this forward fold, you can take your feet wider if you'd like, but I want you to really pull yourself down. You can bring your hands around opposite elbows or keep them on the mat. You could prop yourself up on your bent knees. Good. Hang down. Pull the chin to the chest. Sway around a little bit. Let yourself feel kind of dripped and draped. Good. We call this dangling when we're in it for a while. A few more breaths here. Really good for your face, your eyeballs, your gums, your brain, your mindset. It's a good day. Okay, good. All right, so let's slowly articulate our way up. So really keep the chin in, pull the belly in, round up. Nice and slow. The chin will be the last thing to lift. The shoulders will come up to the ears. You'll look up, and then you'll exhale, and the shoulders will go down. Good. Standing up nice and tall in your Tadasana, we'll make some shoulder rolls here. So shoulders move forward, up, and back and down. So when you're thinking about these movements, I want this to be really the sensation of mobility work in your shoulders here. We did a lot of upper back and shoulders through hollow body yesterday. Good. We've done Garuda practice this week, right? Eagle. Tuesday evening, we worked in postures to bring you back into rest and digest if you're suffering with stress or insomnia. It's been a good week. Good. Keep going. Forward, up, and back and down. Good. One more time. You guys should be doing these every day for yourself, right? All right, good. All right, so inhale, arms reach up overhead. Nice deep breath. Good, reach up. Interlace your fingers and release your pointer grip and pull the belly in as tight as you can. I really want you to feel the feels here. Reach the toes down. So I've got a little bit of bend in my knees because I don't want to be pushing my knees back. I want to have a little bend in my knees. I'm going to pull my front ribs in. Arms go back. So a little bit more effortful. And then I'll lean to the right, and I'm going to pull my arms. I'm going to reach in with my hands and pull. And then I'm going to straighten my right leg, but my left knee is bent. Good. Take a breath. Now push your pubic bone forward, so don't have your butt out. Good. One more breath here. Pull those obliques in. Good. Stand up nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's lean to the left. And as you lean to the left, you're going to pull the belly in. The knees are slightly bent. Now pull your arms back to get up into those shoulder blades. I'm telling you, my friends, you do these as often as I do, or even half as often as I do. Come with me to these classes. You are going to have a really nice cut here in your belly, and that's for support. Good. Go a little deeper. Straighten that left leg. Push. Straighten the left leg. Keep the right knee bent. Inhale, stand all the way up. Nice deep breath, standing up tall. And exhale, swan dive down. Drop the weight of the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Left foot steps back. Good. All right, so we're going to keep our left heel lifted for a moment before we move into warrior 1 and 2. And then we're just going to begin to lift the hips up. Both legs might straighten. Left heel might come to the floor. You just work on getting whatever you can get straight. Let the gaze come down. Good. Noticing the parts of the body that feel resistant. This idea of like, what's stopping me? Pressing into your right big toe. Get one more breath here. I'm nudging back a little here. And then my back heel is going to come down to the ground, and my front knee is going to bend, and I'm going to rise to warrior 1. So we're going to come right through the center line here. Good. I'm going to walk my front toes a little more forward because I want to be nice and open here in warrior 1. Pull the right hip back. So we're opening up this left hip here, this left side. And I want you to pull the belly in tight. Good. Relax into your gaze. The gaze in yoga is called a drishti. Can you breathe into your back body and not just focusing on filling up the front of your chest and belly? One more breath. Good. You're going to open to warrior 2. Arms spread wide. I got to shift around here. My feet always have to move around a little bit here because now it's open chain. Right toes are forward. Right thigh rolls back. Left thigh rolls back. Feet press. Arms reach out. Look over your right middle finger. Relax your shoulders. Pull the belly in. Pubic bone snaps to navel. Nice and long here in the back body. Long neck, relax. Good. Where's your drishti? Pull the belly in tighter. What are you using here besides your drishti? Your belly and your butt. You're not using your butt. You're using way too much of your legs. A sticker on my pants. All right, we'll reverse it now. Good. Reverse. Push your right knee forward. Push. Squeeze that right butt cheek. You feel it? This is the yang. One more breath. Good. All right. Come back to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Good. Very nice. Right toes will turn in. Inhale. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale. Fold. Good. So just let yourself move into this forward fold. You can let your hands stay where they are. You could walk them back behind you, grab the back of the edge of your mat. You can bring your hands to your big toes or the outside of your feet. All right, so whatever feels good to you here. I want you to spread out though. Lengthen the tailbone. Good. Imagine the top of your head will come and touch the earth. One more breath. Good. All right, walk your hands back to the center. Step your left hand forward, so it's way forward here. And then I'm going to soften both of my knees. My knees are kind of buoyant. And then my right arm's going to reach up. And then you can decide what you want to do with these legs. Do they straight? Do they stay bent? Does the right leg straight and the left knee bent? You know, you can move around in the shape. I want you to find your spine. Good. One more breath here. Good. Right hand comes all the way down. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way to rise. Press down. My knees are soft here. Press. Use the muscles, not the bones. Reach up. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Pause. Good. Reorganize. Right forearm comes to the top of the thigh, and the left arm's going to reach straight up overhead. Now I want you to roll your chest up. Push your hips slightly forward. Push your hips slightly forward. Good. If you can, look up. Ooh, wobbly. One more breath. Good. Look down at the floor. Let your hands come down to the earth. Good. Back heel lift. Lovely. Let your left knee come down to the earth. Bring both hands inside the front foot. Untuck the left toes. Lean into it. If you need to move your right foot out to the side a little bit, you can. Great place for a block. All of you people, I think all of you have joined the membership, which I'm super excited for. You are going to need some blocks. I'm going to start teaching with blocks. And I'll tell you, it's harder to find them now because equipment is scarce. Everyone's been doing home practices. Go to the link on my website and start there. They're the ones that were in stock at least a week ago. Do a little digging. You'll need some blocks. Just one more breath here. Good. All right, take the hips up, press down to your front foot, and walk your hands back. All right, I'm gonna bring my right hand on the outside of this right foot, and then I'm gonna swing my right leg back behind me and push the heel away. We're gonna do some bird dogs on this side. Walk the hands back a little bit. We'll do them very traditionally though. Yesterday we did them with hands spread forward, they're harder. Push the heel back, look down. Good, lean forward up onto your fingertips, right? Let the right leg lift up, squeeze your butt, let your left thumb reach up towards the ceiling. Just pause. Belly is in. Lengthen. Point your right toes. Pull the belly in tighter. 3, 2, 2, and 1. Good. Bring the left hand down first. Good. And pull the right knee into the chest. Round in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round in. So kind of like cats and cows, but with a little extra. Good. You'll do 3 more. Good. Right knee is going to come down. Right shin's going to go out to the side. Good. And then we're going to move into side plank. We're not going to do any core work for it though. Good. So I'm going to lean a little into my right fingertips, and then my left arm's going to reach up. So, you know, if you have a good side plank practice, this is still a great place for you to really think about the connection you're making through your upper back. You don't have to worry so much about balance because you got your right shin on the ground. My belly is pulling in. I'm working really hard through my core, right? You can float the left leg if you want. But it's really about, I want you to think about the space between the right hand and the left hand. If you feel this in the right hip, bring the left foot down for sure and pull the butt back a little bit, right? Or forward. I want you to feel the feels of the hip here. Good. Left hand comes down. Make your way back into downward dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, you can. I'll add on some of that stuff at the end, but downward dog. All right, so I'm going to spread out a little bit in my down dog. Push my chest back. I'm going to really heavy into that left hand. And I'm going to roll my tailbone under, spin my biceps forward. Breathe here. Remember, your down dog is like your home base. Can you find the spine here? Can you feel your spine lengthening and your shoulder blades kind of squeezing in towards your spine? Take one more breath. Come high on your toes. Squeeze the calf muscles and push back. Belly in. Push, push, push. Good. And then look forward and step or walk to the top of your mat. We'll come all the way up. We'll dangle. We won't be here quite as long, but I would like for your feet to be wider apart, please. So take the feet wide and dangle. Let those palms turn up. You can move around in your wrist, right? Give yourself some wrist love always. Good. Move your shoulders. Oh, it's a good day. It's a good day. Good. Just take a notice when you're in your forward fold. Make sure your inner thighs, the length of your inner legs are rolling back, right? They're not rolling forward, they're rolling back. Good. One more breath. Good. And slowly bend your knees and slowly come all the way up. Come up, come up, come up. Once you're up, the chin stays in, the shoulders are going to roll up to your ears. And then exhale down. Good. All right, so we'll move into the shoulders a little bit before we get to the other side. Good. All right, so you can keep your feet wide, or you can bring them in a little closer together once you're standing. And then we're going to move our shoulders, but with the arms. So my right arm is going to reach forward, up, and back. We'll do some windmills. Good. Tools for your toolkit. Good, good, good. My knees are slightly bent. Good. All right, let's go to the other one. Oh, yeah. Good job. I was listening to a meditation this morning. I was listening to something that was part of my meditation. And it was about, you know, the meditation of it's going to be a good day. No matter your circumstances, no matter what you know is ahead of you, all the things going on out in the world, or gosh, within your own heart or your head, your home, it's a good day. You know, it's going to help to use those words. Good. One more time around. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, let it go. So one more time. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, let it go. Good. Step your feet in close together. Arms reach up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Find your pointer grip. Now see if you can uncross the thumbs or cross the opposite way. Pull the belly in, slight bend in the knees. Reach up. Arms behind the ears. Reach up, reach up, reach up. And then lean to the right. Good. You can push your left hip farther to the left if you want, or not. You can play with that, right? Doing postures in a different way, even if you're tweaking it just a little bit, it's really good. You hit different spots. Pubic bone pulls in. Arms back. Inhale, stand up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean to the left, please. Think about all the components, how you could do things similar or different on this side. The parts that feel stuck, like, oh, I can't go, that's where you should be. You're always creating patterns, sometimes really good ones, but even those you can tweak. Belly in, whole body. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, swan dive down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hands come down. Right foot steps back, please. All right, so as our right foot steps back, we'll make a little bit of space. Make sure you're on train tracks. Pull the belly in. You will block you can use it. And then we'll begin to come high up onto the right toe. So my heel is lifted. It gives me a little space in my hip. And then I'm going to start to push my left foot forward, pressing into my left toes. If your right heel wants to come to the ground, you can let it. So you can move around here. These are postures I feel like are kind of allowing yourself to open up the ears to the body's voice. What do you need here? Shouldn't just be about your legs. It should be about the length of your spine, your shoulders, your hips, all the things. Your feet. Good. 2 more breaths here. Drop down in it. Good. All right, so go ahead and begin to bend the front knee and drop the right heel down to the ground. And then we're going to press down to rise warrior one. Here we go. Pretty long sequence on each side. So a little different on this side for sure in some way. But really try to open up this right front hip. I'm trying to spread out in my warrior one here. Keep the left knee bent. Arms are overhead. Belly is in. Where's your drishti? Right, it's a soft and focused gaze. The tailbone is long. A lot of times people will have their butt back and their belly spilling forward. If you can't lengthen the tailbone here, you might need to straighten the front knee far more or widen your stance. Good. Squeeze your right glute and your right quad. Dig your right toes into the ground. Good. One more breath. Strength and flexibility. Strength, flexibility, mobility. All right, good. Let's move to warrior two. Good. So I'm going to say, my back will face you just to give you kind of a different perspective of it. But the right, I'm spreading out. My left toes are forward. The right toes are where you feel connected to the leg. Left thigh falls back. Right thigh rolls back. Arms out, shoulders in. Gaze over the left middle finger. Drop down, lean back. So it's not like leaning back. It's more like pubic bone, right? The pubic bone comes up to the navel. So you really want to turn your head so you can move up into the spine. Swallow. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Pull the belly in tighter. Remember how yesterday we said core is always there in your yoga practice, your core and your butt. One more breath. Go deeper. Reverse. Left arm up. So this doesn't come out of the legs here. Push deeper. Oh my goodness. Good. Come back to warrior two. Left forearm comes to the top of the left thigh. Good. The right arm's going to reach straight up overhead. This is your yang part. Just dive into it. My arms reaching up. My chest, my sternum is looking up towards the ceiling. I'm rooted down in my legs. Pull the belly in tighter. A little bit of rotation in the upper back. One more breath. Good. Lovely. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Beautiful. Turn to the long edge of your mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, fold down. Good. Good. Move a little side to side here. Good. And then you can keep your hands on the ground. You could grab the outside of your feet. You could walk your hands back or forward. Just be here. A little bit of bend in the knee is good. Imagine the top of your head coming to touch the earth. One more breath. Pulling the belly in, coming up halfway. We'll step our right hand way forward here. Good. And then we'll let our left arm reach up overhead. And so on this side, think about how you want to position your legs. And I'll say, I'm going to switch positions so you can see my spine a little better. You don't want your spine to be in a back bend, your low back. You want your spine to be long in the back, not here. You absolutely could open up the chest into a minor back bend, but not your low back. Keep it steady. Right, decide if your knees are bent, one or both. Which one? One more breath. And then exhale, bring it down. Good. All right, let's walk our hands back and inhale, come all the way up. Nice big breath, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Left toes are forward. Good, very nice. We'll cartwheel our hands down to the earth. Back toes turn or on the ground, heel up, and then lay the right knee down. Make some space if you need to with the left foot. Bring your hands on the inside of the foot. Untuck the back toes. Take a few breaths here. Good. Take your time here. Good. One more breath. And then you'll pick the hips up and back. Good. And then you're going to slide your left foot all the way back, turning the toes, and you're pushing back, pushing back. We'll find our bird dog now. Left leg lifts up, squeeze the butt. Right hand reaches forward, thumb up, pause, pull the belly in. Move your breath, push down into your left fingertips. You want to be long in the left arm and away, the shoulder away from the ear. Heart is bright. You're doing good. Lean a little forward, press into your right shin. Good. The right hand comes down. Take a breath. Exhale, pull the left knee up into the chest, nose to knee. Inhale, extend with your chest. Exhale. So think cat and cow. Good. One more from here. Good. And then you'll bring the knee down. Left shin pulls out to the side. Left hand assigned side plank. So I'll do it from the back. So you can see the back side of it if you'd like. Keep the right foot rooted. You're leaning into that left shoulder, the left fingertip, so it's somewhat stacked. And your right arm's going to reach up overhead. Pull the belly in tighter. Shoulders away from the ears. And you can lift the right leg if you'd like to. Good. Notice your hips. Good. One more breath. And then the right hand's going to come down. You'll find your way into tabletop. And then knees go wide, and you'll push back into child. You can let your palms turn up. Good. Take about 5 really slow breaths here. So, you know, as we are remembering the mantra for the practice is, it's a good day. Good day. All the things, all the open opportunities and possibilities of the day. And as things present themselves to us, conversations, things out in the world, things in your home, your work, whatever, your people, your partners, just keep that close with you. It's a good day. And with grace, I will allow, right? I'll allow any messages to be well received, and I will respond from a place of, it's a good day. All right, so go ahead and lift yourself up, and you're going to swing your legs forward, and you're going to come down to your back. And once you're down on your back, please let the feet come down to the floor. Let the knees go wide. Move your hips a little side to side. You'll bring one hand to your heart and one towards your belly, right? Somewhere where it's comfortable, the elbows are dropped. Let your shoulders slide down into your mid-back so the shoulders can flex. The chin is neutral. It might be down just a bit. Close your eyes. Pull the low of 2 inches below your navel. Pull that in a little bit. Allow yourself to be here now. Allow yourself to be here. Although these practices, because they are online and it's more difficult to hold space for Shavasana, that's understandable. Shavasana is extremely important. We'll have whole practices of Shavasana in the membership. Allow yourself to simmer. Take a deep breath through your nose. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you so much for your practice. Stay as long as you can on the ground. And have a good day. Namaste.